everyone's program, Your View, with distinguished Odii Emmanuel Iheme. And on today's program, before we proceed, I would like to observe at least a 30-second silence for all those who the tanker explosion in Kogi State and the Ejigbo Lagos fire outbreak, what was described as another explosion in Lagos. Let's have a silence, let's say 30-second silence for them. May the souls of all those who have passed on as a result of this explosion rest in peace. Amen. Now we start the show this afternoon by itemizing some news items on the show, and I give my views, my perspective, and what I think about them. Then you are also welcome with your own view, and I'm greeting you from anywhere across the globe. You are plugged into the show, because we are presenting live from Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. And if you are listening from anywhere or you are watching from anywhere in the world, it could be Nigeria, it could be Africa, it could be Central African Republic, it could be Europe, it could be China, or anywhere. Your view is always welcome, because on the program, your view is very, very, very important, and it's essential as far as we are concerned. That's why we celebrate and respect democracy, so your view is more like a democracy to us. So let's start off by looking at the first item I have here. Beg your pardon. Federal Executive Council, FEC, approves 1.96 billion naira for a rail construction from Kano to Niger Republic. And this news was virtually everywhere, I think, since the midweek this week, or let's say Tuesday. Vanguard reported boldly, the Punch reported also, Daily Trust, just name it. And if you ask my view, most of you know that I've been critical of this government, like I have been critical of every other government as well. It doesn't make any sense at all that a government would abandon projects that they inherited from the previous government and those they have started in Nigeria, to now embark on a project that will that will run from the northern part of Nigeria to a Niger Republic. I think the big question we should be asking is, what economic value is the construction of a rail line from Kano that will go across Katsina and that will end up in Niger Republic, be it to Nigeria, especially in times like this where virtually everybody in Nigeria, you understand, are facing what can be best described as a financial redundancy, financial stagnation, and what can be also can best be described as abject penury, so to speak. Then the government that had come to Nigerians to think that they want to help Nigeria manage the economy would now embark in such a, so to speak, a useless project. As far as I am concerned, let's just say it the way it is. The government must come now and begin to do some things that will make Nigerians believe that indeed it's not a government of the North and for the North alone. Because we have looked at this thing critically and we have discovered that, you see, most of the project that they are embarking on is such that will promote the interests of the North. You understand me? And to think that in this age and time, they are still thinking the way they are thinking is something that we must all condemn. I have another news item here. It says, Yoruba nation will secure freedom without bloodshed. And this statement was credited to Pa Akintoye. I don't know. If we speak too much now, they think we are probably standing for a particular section in the country, or we are trying to break up the country, so to speak. But we are not doing any of all those, because we believe in, first of all, sitting down and having a dialogue, which is the whole essence of democracy. And we must also look at things from a point of view that would say, if you are a wife and you are a husband, in order to live together in peace and harmony, you must have constant discussions, you must have constant dialogue, you must also have constant deliberation on issues, you know. But if it is the way Pa Akintoye has put it now, it is clear that the Nigerian nation is truly having cracks on the wall. What is expedient of any government to do is to either organize what could be, although they say we've had one before, a sovereign national conference. Then I think they should pick items from the previous sovereign national conference that was organized by the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and you bring it to the fore, pick some items on it, especially that deals with Nigeria unity. You understand? Vis-a-vis the ethnic groups that we have in Nigeria. Then when you pick it, you try to have the view, like we are doing here now. We also welcome everybody's view. You have the view of all the ethnic groups in Nigeria, not just saying that you believe in Hausa, Yoruba and Igbo as the major ethnic group. For me, I'm somebody who propagates the gospel that says everybody matters. When people say Black Lives Matters, I stood with everybody's life matters, regardless of your race, regardless of your bias, you understand, and regardless of where you come from. Let us have a situation where it is either we organize another conference that will be all and encompassing everybody in Nigeria, from every nook and crannies in Nigeria. We'll sit down and negotiate the reason why we are together as one. You understand? It is very important, because a situation where we are living like this in Nigeria, where everybody have a very dirty and dangerous interest in their mind, you understand, it is as a result of disunity amongst us. If we have unity of purpose, you understand, we will live together as one, because we already know the basis for which we are living together. If there is unity in Nigeria, Pa Akintoye, for instance, would not say that the Yoruba nation, once you say a Yoruba nation, automatically you are saying that you don't believe in the project they call Nigeria. You understand? On October 1st, we will be celebrating another year of what, if you look at it critically, can be best described as forceful marriage. Because a marriage where the wife is not happy and the husband is happy, there is no unity. If the husband is happy and the wife is not happy, there is also no unity. So, to a reasonable extent, it can be best described as a forceful marriage. What the government of the day should be doing now is to bring everybody together. Let's sit down on the round table and look at where to forge ahead, you understand, in one, and let us unite as one. That is for that, and that news item is credited to Punch. We have another item here. This is taking us back to the Edo State election. Oshomole says he was moved to tears in the past Saturday's election that saw him beating Black and Blue. He was beating Black and Blue in that election by the PDP candidate. It was a landslide victory. It was a victory for the people. It was a victory that goes beyond the governor. You understand? It was a victory that was decided by the people, which is what democracy was essentially supposed to be. The people were supposed to speak in every election. That way you can really say that you have democracy. What transpired in Edo State, it was a classical definition. It was a spontaneous definition of democracy. You understand? The people took their franchise by themselves, to themselves, and chose their leader and say they went to the ballot and say, for those who think that they want to build a pyramid of Egypt, we don't want such a thing in our state. This is what we want. regardless of the party the person is coming under. So they voted for the candidate of their choice, and everybody was glad, including the APC members. At some point they even voted for, I think they would have, when they saw that it wasn't going the way they planned, they would have just thrown in the towel and started voting for Obaseki. He was the duly elected governor, and I think he has been going around about to try to make peace and all that. So Shomole should just concede defeat, and it was a very good thing that will serve as a deterrent to others who have been constituting themselves as lord over the people. It was a welcome development. That's democracy for you. And that news item is credited to GTV. Now we move on. We move on to another news item here. 1 year after it was rumored that President Buhari married the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Sadiya Farouk. Another latest report now from Sahara Reporters and other major news outlets. They have it now that reported that she is now married to the Chief of Her Staff in a secretive marriage, so to speak. I honestly see that as a gossip. Why it's popping up in my own news item here? I really don't know. But there is one thing I can remember once I hear the name Sadiya Farouk, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. She's somebody who doesn't like giving account of stewardship. Under her watch, money that is totaling up to $600 billion or thereabout have no record, especially when it was designated to take care of people during this pandemic. She has not been able to give proper account of how she spent the money. All we've heard is that she has spent so and so. We need a breakdown. The Nigerian people need a breakdown. You understand? Then if the FCC is still silent on inviting her for questioning, then I question the moral ground for which President Muhammadu Buhari claimed to be fighting corruption. I question it. So I will just allow that sleep. And I'm glad to also inform our listeners that should you not have the opportunity to watch live the broadcast right now, there's also going to be a pre-recorded copy that will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, Red Alert FM. Just go to your social media platform, your YouTube, Red Alert FM. You go to Instagram's Red Alert FM. If you go to Twitter also, we are Red Alert FM, and we are mighty glad that we are all our previous broadcasts as we've uploaded there. So you can find it there. You can also go to Google and search it. You see our website. You can also follow all our programs. We also have programs that are designated to talent. We have programs also that are designated to entertainment, especially Nigeria international entertainment. We have programs that are designated to small scale businesses. We also have programs that you could go there and sweet sell yourself. Just go there, find time, and you can mail us also. If you cannot drop your comment there, you can mail us. You drop your phone number, we'll contact you and we'll get in touch with you. So let me move to the other item I have here. Femi Falana, the lawyer group, mobilizes Nigerians for September 28th nationwide protest. It's a welcome development. In any government where you don't have what is best described as pressure group to pressurize the government to do the rightful, to do the needful, automatically you have a situation where the government will sit on the head of the people. So what Femi Falana is doing, what Yele Sowore is doing, is highly welcomed in any modern democracy. You understand? If you go to other parts of the world, you see people fighting for their people, standing up and saying, no, this is injustice to our people. And anybody who does so is doing so because he values democracy. That is the only way you have a sane society. You understand? If you don't do so, if you don't pressure the government to stop treating the people, you understand, like a non-entity, then automatically you have a breakdown of law and order. And what I think the government can do in such an instance, the institution saddled with the responsibility on the 28th of September, you must make sure that you provide adequate security for protesters. It is within their fundamental human right to demand that the right thing is done to the people of Nigeria. But if you decide to go the other way, like you've done to other protesters, then automatically, and the government sit back and look, why you are treating the people like they are nothing, then it is a bad name to the government. I hope the government is listening. I hope they will make sure that there is adequate security of lives and property on the 28th of September, and I think on the 1st of October also. There is also going to be another show of displeasure by the people of Nigeria. And that news was also credited to Sahara Reporters. Let me go to item. I have another item here. Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umara Zulum, has ordered the auction of 710 abandoned government vehicles and tractors, including other government equipment. Yes, this governor is governor of the APC. But I must tell you the truth. Before you mention two governors in Nigeria today who are standing up for leadership, you will mention Zulum. Professor Zulum has displayed leadership in all spheres. At a time, people saw him as enemy because in that party where he belongs, I think that there is something fundamentally wrong with them. Whenever they see people going the right way, they try to stray them. But I'm mighty glad that Professor Zulum, that's the governor, he has stood for what is right and just. He has taken leadership seriously, and he has done all that is needed to do as a governor. And in times like this, I use my platform to say I salute him. He should keep up that spirit of leadership, and he should auction. He should go further to also check the expenditures of people in government, because it is clear that people in government are living extravagantly. I see no reason why people who call themselves leaders, lawmakers, the other day, one of them were showcasing his wardrobe, you understand, displaying wealth to people of Nigeria that they have not been able to give leadership. That is condemnable, and that news item is credited to Leadership newspaper. I'll move swiftly now to this news that says this is credited to Today's NG. Today's NG is reporting that China is running hundreds of detention centers in Xinjiang, China. I remember when we had the first edition of Your View, I had a news item that we omitted. I think I will do some research on it. Then by next week, I will bring it to the notice of the general public, what is going on in Libya, and I think China also. China is in the habit of, I don't know, but what is going on in China is dangerous. They are in the habit of being so wicked and cruel to their fellow human. During the time of the virus was so much pronounced, I saw how Nigerians were displaced. They drove Nigerians, even those that lodged in their hotels, they drove them to the streets. They collected their papers, and they made them to look like they don't have papers. I hope the world is listening. I hope Amnesty International is also listening, because that's another body that is saddled with the responsibility to look into situations like this where people are treated inhumanely. So I hope they will take the necessary actions, even as Trump yesterday in a recorded broadcast to the UN, that China is responsible for creating COVID-19. You understand? I hope the world is listening. I hope appropriate sanction is meted to China as a way of telling them that they should stop this kind of wanting to be the only world power. You understand? There must be a sanction for them, and it is very, very important that is done just about now. I have another news item before we round off this afternoon. Okay. Yeah, that speaks of the explosion that has rocked Iju area of Lagos. The explosion is simply one too many, and I think that it is time that proper investigations are carried out on pipeline explosion, whether they call it vandalism or in whatsoever name they call it. They must, as a matter of urgency, investigate properly and make sure that such does not repeat itself again, because it is lives we are losing. With that, I think we have come to the end of today's program, and I thank you all for listening from everywhere you are plugged in. Do well to tune into your view with distinguished Odii Emmanuel Iheme.